Hey everyone, welcome back to the economics discussion. And the topic for today's discussion is the ISLM model, or what we called it as the investment saving and liquidity preference for money model, gave by J.R. Hicks in 1937 and A.H Hansen in 1949. They told us how money market interact with product market and how they influence each other. So these economists were the neo-Keynesian economist, and they gave the ISLM model. Okay, so what they basically want to told us that how both these product market, which is the IS market, and money market, which is the LM market, interact with each other. Okay, so before jumping into the theory, we are going to study about the classical approach, how classical approach uh, was considered about the relationship between the money and real factor, and how Keynes developed this theory in the past. So we are going to talk about the classical approach. So classical consider that there is no role of money. Okay. The real factors in economy is only wage, employment and output. They believe that there is no relationship between the money and the real factors. They consider money as the external factor. There's no effect of money on the real factors like wage, employment and output. Apart from it, they also believe in the automatic adjustment in long run. They believe that in long run, all the economic forces, if they ever deviate from the equilibrium, they will automatically adjust themselves in the long run. The economic forces like investment, saving, rate of interest, money supply, if anything or any economic force deviate from its equilibrium point, they will automatically adjust in long run. They also believe that the supply creates its own demand. They believe that the production process comes first and then the demand follows it. They always give the theory about the related to the long run. So in crux, they really reject the money role of money in on the real factors. Okay, now let's talk about the Keynesian era, or what Keynes believed. So Keynes believed that in long run we all are dead. Okay, before jumping into the Keynes theory, we need to understand a scenario in 1930 and 1936 when the Great Depression happened. In that era, we saw that the supply exceeds demand, because in the time of depression there is a lot of unemployment, and because of unemployment there is no income of a lot of people, and that is why there is the constant supply but the demands goes down. And because of that, we saw that how supply was greater than demand in that 6 years of between 1930 to 1936. And that is why we believe that the classical economist failed in providing the theory, and because if they were successful, why the Great Depression happened in America. Now we are going to talk about the Keynes, what Keynes approach is all about. So in long run we all are dead, that is the condition Keynes used to believe. And he also considered that in short run he also favors the government intervention. Okay, so he gave all the theories related to the short run, and he believes that the government intervention is really must for the economic expansion and also to deviate economy in the equilibrium at the equilibrium point. So what is the government intervention? Government intervention through autonomous investment, the investment government do for increasing the welfare and GDP of the country, right? Through expending a lot into the economy, government can generate employment, income and production process investment, and cumulatively it can increase the GDP of the country. Government intervention through fiscal policies. To change fiscal policies, some elements like expenditure, tax, revenue, government can definitely increase the economic growth. Keynes believe that money, or the role of money in the economy, is important to determine the real factors like wage, employment and output. How? As money supply goes up, rate of interest goes down. Listen very carefully. It's really important and tough and technical to understand. As money supply goes up, rate of interest goes down. How? Now, as money supply goes up, there is a lot of money into the hands of a lot of people, as they have a lot of money in their hands, so they think about to deposit these money because they have the extra money, okay, more than they need. So they deposit that money into the banks. Now bank has a lot of money into their hands, now they want to lend it. So each bank started decreasing their rate of interest, so that they can attract people, those who do not deposit themselves or their money into the bank, and they want to invest that extra money. So banks started, each and every bank started to decrease their ROI so that they can interest a lot of borrowers for lending that amount of extra money that they have, because of the, as money supply goes up, a lot of people started depositing their money into the banks. Now as each bank started decreasing their rate of interest, a rate of interest decreased and set itself onto a equilibrium where there is the common rate of interest, the average rate of interest. At, like, there is one bank, that bank reduced there is a bank A, okay, it reduced its rate of interest at 5%, then second bank reduced from 4%, then third from 3%. So there is this average that they settle for the 4%, that now everyone's rate of interest fall with 4%. So as money supply goes up, ROI goes down. Now what happened when rate of interest goes down? There is a increase in the investment. As investment increase, employment increase, income increase. As income increase, GDP as a whole started to increase in the economy. Okay, so what we understand, as money supply goes up, there is a lot of money in the hands of people, they deposit in bank. As they deposit in bank, the ROI will fall down. Okay, there is one more effect of the money supply. If money supply goes up, there is more money into the hands of people, and because of that money, more consumption started happening in the economy. As more consumption happened, a lot of because of that, demand increase, and as demand increase, more supply also increase into the economy. Okay, so because of money supply increases, MPC and MPS, marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to save, also simultaneously increase. Okay, so money impact in fluctuation of real factors, and money also determine the real factor. Okay, how product market impact money market? Okay, now the question is that, did Keynes answer this question, that how product market impact the money market, or how money market impact the product market? He talks about influence of money over the product market, how change in the money supply can change the investment, employment, income, production, consumption. But he did not talk about that how there is a change in product market can also influence the money market. And for that, neo-Keynesian economists came into the picture in the year 1937 and 1949, when in the during the time of Great Depression, classical approach failed. They talk about how money market interact with the product market. So this is the introduction or the background before what happened, what are the theories developed by the previous economist before the ISLM model came into the picture, so that you get an idea that how this model developed. So we're going to talk about the ISLM model in depth in the second part of this video. Thanks for watching this video.